I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
Hey there, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another review. This is another Patreon review for Total Meltdown 2. Thank you so much once again, man. Thank you to everyone who has supported me on Patreon. If you ever want to support the channel, the link to my Patreon is down below. Or if you want to send a request via PayPal, a review, or pretty much anything else, my PayPal link is down below in the info box too. But the review for today is Basket Case 3, The Progeny. Now, I have reviewed the first two. I reviewed the first Basket Case around September, October or so of last year, 2019. And I enjoy the first Basket Case. I still think that's the best of the three because it had that 42nd Street Forever, the New York flavor and grindhouse dirty feel with the look, the cinematography, the way it was filmed, the location being in New York, that urban, the colorful characters, and the gore. It definitely, when the films became a bit more slick looking and I would say even more comedic, then it lost a lot of that, and then it lost that urban, and in that whole grindhouse look and feel to it. That's why the sequels I thought were definitely not near the level of the first Basket Case. Basket Case 2 I wasn't a fan of because it seemed like really not much of anything happened, and even the gore was pretty tame. This, I like the film. I don't love the film. I would not call the film underrated or any of the sort. I don't love it, but I do think it's a step up from part 2 because at least it does have a bit more of the violence, the gore, although very cartoony over the top, but still entertaining. I mean, you get eyes being popped out of their heads, you got faces, heads being ripped off, you got heads being twisted 180 degrees, and it's definitely a bit more over the top in its silliness, but at least it was something. Basket Case 2 kind of stuck as if the movie was going, well, where am I going? What should I do? It can't pick a direction. Here it picked a direction. Whether you like or dislike the direction, it picked it and said, okay, we're going to be even more like the fairly over-the-top comedic route where Belial, the little deformed twin of the normal guy, Dwayne. Belial has a girlfriend that we saw in the second Basket Case. She's pregnant, and they go on a road trip along with all the other deformed people on this bus, Granny Ruth's group of folks, to go see this doctor so the female Belial can have all these babies. And then they deal with these people in this small town, including the sheriff and her fucked up daughter and the asshole deputies. So it definitely felt like there was a bit more of a story to this compared to Basket Case 2. Also, Basket Case 2 had the trouble of trying to retroactively not ignore, but change things about the ending of the first Basket Case. Like, well, I mean, okay, they're not really dead, and, well, okay, they were fighting to the deaths, but we gotta explain these weird, no, I don't buy it. Here, it didn't have to do that, because they, I think, did it lazy and poorly in Bad Taste too, but okay, now we've moved on. So at the end of Bad Taste 2, Dwayne went crazy because of the stuff going on, and they show the ending of the second film at the beginning of this one. That's why, honestly, you could just skip Bad Taste 2, because again, they showed the ending of it at the beginning of this, so if you're confused, they do show a bit about the Granny Ruth's her granddaughter has also deformity to her. What they listen to, she's pushed out the window to her death. Dwayne goes crazy, sews his deformed brother back to him so they're connected again. And then it's been some time later, he's in a straitjacket and a padded cell. The Belial won't talk to him. I'm like, Belial has never seemed like he cared about his brother anyway in any of these movies. Like, Dwayne, the normal guy, seems like he would be the... You'd always tell he likes his brother. But Belial, you never get that idea that he actually gives a shit about his normal brother. You never do. So this whole, oh, he's not talking to me, to me it doesn't really lead anything, because you never get the sense Belial gives a shit about his brother. Not in the second film, not in this one. So... But this is more about the humor, its tone, the effects when it gets to it. They get there. Granny's friends. There's this... her son, who's another deformed person. The doctor tries to help with the surgery, but Belial, he's reminded of when he was separated. So he attacks the doctor, and then the doctor's like, well, you gotta find someone else, you gotta do this. And then the birth happens, and you have all these tiny Belials. And not all the humor works. For example, in that scene, there's a guy, camera. 1 comes out, 2 comes out, 3 comes out, 4 comes out, 5 comes out. And anytime someone comes out, the guy makes a joke. Oh, 6 comes out, he makes another joke. 7 comes out, he makes another joke. 8 comes out, he makes a joke. I'm like, okay, this is getting a bit long, a little bit redundant. This is getting old already. We get it. Oh, there's 11. Now there's 12. It's like, okay, we get it. We get it. You're going like too long with the joke. I didn't think it was that funny to begin with, but now it's even less funny. But the story really kicks in because one thing leads to another. They find out there's these... Dwayne tries to escape. Which I'll say this Dwayne character is never consistent. Because in the second film, he always kept saying he was normal. Then he tried to sew the brother to his body. Now he wants to escape because he thinks he's normal. And it's like, okay, well, which is he? Does he think he's a freak, so he'll be part of the freaks, or he thinks he's normal? So, the Bad Taste sequels, I think, are the lesser Frank Henenlotter movies. If you want to see Frank Henenlotter, go watch Bad Taste, Brain Damage, and Frankenhooker. Those are the 3 to watch. The Bad Taste sequels are just... It never needed a franchise. It never needed a trilogy of films. And I do think the writing in 2 and 3 are not up to par with Frank Henenlotter's writing in his other films. Again, like Frankenhooker, Brain Damage, and even the first Bad Taste. But there's some B-movie fun to be had. Just the strangeness. Granny Ruth, that actress, does a good job. The guy who plays Dwayne... He's not a great actor. He did fine in the first film. I think he does a little bit better here than he did in the second film. And like I said, this one, it's definitely a bit more silly, but it seems like a bit more consistent with its tone. But it's pretty crazy. Like the sheriff's daughter, for some reason, is a dominatrix with a whip that starts whipping the normal guy, Dwayne, in the jail cell. There's a point where they all go into a fast food place and try to order food. Which she actually did a cameo from the lady I liked in the first movie. And then she had a cameo in the second film. I don't think she's supposed to be playing the same character because it's a completely different town. And she wasn't working fast food, but hey, okay, the actress is back for a cameo. That's cool. I forget the actress's name. But she was in the first one when Dwayne's like, my brother's in the basket. Your brother, that girl. But the story, the cops come in, they shoot up what they think is Belial, but is actually Belial's lady, kill her, steal the babies, and then tend to get the babies back to the point that Dwayne and this other guy help build a little power loader. You know, the power loader in Aliens? Imagine a mini power loader for Belial to fight the sheriff. So you either got Belial taking care of the cops, but at least in gory fashions. Granted, more over the top silly in the Evil Dead 2 vein, but still pretty fun. Again, heads twisted in 180, eyes popping out of the... That was a fun sequence. I would say this went at a little bit of a better pacing compared to the second film. Dwayne, the character, I will say, the normal guy, he disappears for a good chunk of the movie after he's arrested and he's in jail. So, I don't know what it is. Like, after the first film, the director just never wanted the Dwayne character to be, like, the focus of the movie anymore. I don't know if he just... I don't have anything to tell with this character, or... I don't know, just after the first film, he never wanted to utilize the Dwayne, the... Van Hentenrich, I can never pronounce the guy's name. He never wanted to use the actor more prominently in the other films. I mean, it's not like a cameo or anything. It's still a supporting role, but still, I don't know. But as it is, it's a fun enough little B movie that is for free on here on YouTube. It has its issues, like I mentioned before, but I know Frank Henenlotter hates the film. And I'm like, well, I think it's better than part 2, so, but he doesn't mind part 2, so I don't know. I think there's a Basket Case documentary where he talks about all 3 films. I'd have to watch it to find out why he hates the third film so much. I don't know whether production problems, script problems, I don't know. He probably like, I don't have a story. I'm like, yeah, then don't do the movie. But the ending is pretty weak because they go on a show Geraldo, but it's called Ronaldo. I just so they don't get sued, but it's pretty much Geraldo Rivera, and they stampede on the platform of the show, so Granny Roof could say, we're not going to hide anymore. And it really felt like the director wanted Granny Roof to be the lead in these movies now and not Dwayne. And I'm like, okay, but I know he didn't want to do Basket Case sequels. He wanted to do the stuff, and you could tell. I would say you could tell. I think that's yet another one of the reasons why the sequels are not as good as the first movie. But like I said, I felt this went at a better pace in the second film. This did have at least some of the gore. It's not as tame as the second film. This felt like it had a little bit more of a story. Like it was actually going somewhere, while the second film felt like the story didn't know where it wanted to go. The other freaks, they still don't do shit. Like, you have all these creatures with these makeup effects, but they don't do anything. Like in the second one, they don't do shit. They don't try to fight. They don't try to kill. They don't kill anybody. They don't do anything. So it's, you almost go like the second film, what is the fucking point of it? But again, the power loader scene was kind of fun. Silly, but fun. You know, this little Belial and this mini power loader from Aliens fighting the sheriff. The whole him trying to save his babies. Okay, do you have at least more of a story to Belial's character? At least a little. The sheriff's daughter with dominatrix outfit was hot. Some of the gore was fun. Like I said, not as tame as the second film. So this I enjoyed as a little B movie. I would never watch it again, but like I said, you did not need sequels at the end of the day to Basket Case. And I still maintain you could honestly skip the second film and go from Basket Case 1 to Basket Case 3, but I found 2 and 3 on YouTube for free, so if you really want to watch them, go ahead. But anyway, thanks for watching. Take care. Thank you once again, Total Meltdown 2, for the contribution. And if anyone wants to send in requests or support the channel on either my Patreon or my PayPal, the links are down below. Thank you, and we'll see you in another review. Later.